In this video, we are going to prep and paint my garage floor with a two-part epoxy. Hi everyone, my name is Mark. Welcome to the Average Me channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I go about prepping and painting my garage floor. I wish I had done this when I first moved in, but quite frankly, I couldn't. I didn't have time because when I bought the house, the sellers literally slept in the house the day before closing, and we closed like an hour before I moved in, so I just didn't have any time to do this. So I think the hardest part of doing something like this is getting everything out of the garage and off the floor. This is not how I intend to keep it, but it wasn't bad. I bought this rail system just to get some things up and off the floor. So this morning, I painted the walls of the garage, and it's looking pretty good. Then I power washed the floor. I swept it, then I power washed it, and there is some discoloration, but it doesn't look like there's any major oil stains or anything, but I don't know. Some of these stains could be oil stains from 10 years ago, so we'll see. I'm using a product that's supposed to clean, degrease, and etch all in one step, and this is it, Valspar Fast Prep. I got this at Lowe's. And 1 jug, 1 gallon is supposed to be good for 250 square feet. So I needed 2 of these because my garage is roughly, I'd say about 400 or 500 square feet. Oh, forget the roughly, it's 400 square feet. The instructions say you should do a 10 by 10 foot area at a time. Really easy for my garage because it's already broken up into 10 by 10 squares. I saw a lot of different products. They were all roughly the same. Some you would dilute it 1-to-1 with water. This one says that you should hose down the area and then pour the product on it. So I guess, it's a horse apiece. You're doing the same thing. You're diluting it with the water. So I'm going to get the garden hose out. I am going to go ahead and wet down 1 square. Then pour this out from a watering can and scrub it in. They said you're supposed to see it bubble. If it doesn't bubble, the jig is up. Something's wrong. It probably means that it's already sealed. So you should use some kind of a, either use this more direct or use it 2 times in order to get that top seal off. I think mine's going to be okay. Let's give it a shot. Well, it's certainly fizzing, so that's a good sign. You can really smell the acid in this product. Wow, powerful. It's going to be a little tricky to go back there and hose this out. Walking over all that acid, but we'll give it a shot. There's another area where all my hurricane blinds are, and I probably won't paint underneath those because I don't want to take them all out. But at a later time, if I ever remove those, I can get in there with a paintbrush and touch it up. Well, it's all done. You're probably hearing the creak of my tripod as I roll along. And now we wait. They say we're supposed to wait 24 hours. It's about 6 p.m. I am going to paint this before 6 p.m. tomorrow. So if I make a mistake anywhere, it might be not letting this dry long enough. I think it's going to dry pretty well. It's nice and warm here in Florida. So I'll see you tomorrow. Here's the product I'm going to be using to paint the garage floor. It's rust-oleum epoxy shield. It's a 2-part epoxy that's water soluble. The paint comes in 2 parts, the activator and the base, and that's duplicated. You also get 2 sets of, here comes my cat to investigate, 2 sets of the flakes. That is also duplicated. And then there's this stuff. I'm not sure what this is. We'll have to read the directions and find out. The one thing I'm a little concerned about is there's some paint right there on the edge. I hope that this wasn't contaminated. According to the package, this is concrete etch. Since I already etched my concrete, I guess I'm not going to use that bag. We're ready to go. I've got my paint tray, my roller, and my roller pole. I've got the gallon with the activator and the chips. So I'm going to pour the activator into the gallon. We're going to stir it up with the provided stir stick, and we have to get rolling because this will only, it'll only last about an hour. It's a pretty warm day today, so I've got to work fast. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to work in that corner. I'm going to brush first, and then I'm going to roll. And I'm going to do these 10 by 10 squares. So I'm going to quarter them, so do a 5 by 5 4 times to get a square done. Then I'll go to the next square, 5 by 5 to get a square done. That should take me through my gallon. Yep, you can see that can is only about 3/4 full, and they say add this activator and then stir it for a full 3 minutes. And then the timer starts, and we have to make sure that we get this on within the hour. And we gotta stir it for 3 full minutes, and then it says stir again. This is really thin as far as paint goes. I'm going to take it as far into that corner as I can. Kind of tricky, but of course I'm not worried so much about getting behind that water heater. After all, what's going to happen back there, right? As soon as I say that, I'm going to get a water leak. It would be really nice if I had a second person here to cut this in and just stay one step ahead of me. I'm really concerned about the drying time on this, but I don't have that, so we have to work with what we have, right? This is very watery paint. I'm really concerned about getting full coverage, but doesn't look like I'm getting real good coverage in some areas. I don't know what the real problem is. If it didn't get cleaned and etched as good as I thought it was. I'm just seeing some spots over here. And now the fun part. Sprinkles! Let's see how this works. I'm not sure how many I'm supposed to put on there, but toss it up in the air like confetti. I don't want to get too much in one spot. Looks pretty good. So far, I'm happy with it. We'll have to see how it dries, of course. Well, it's coming along. But I have to say there are some spots I did not degrease well enough, and I'm having a hard time making it stick. I'll probably have to put on a second coat. He chose poorly. Well, it's not bad. A whole lot better than it was when I started. But there were some trouble areas, and there are some suggestions I might have. Look at that, where I hit the wall. A little bit of paint. So I don't know if I'm one to be offering advice because I did it one whole time. But I would say spend an awful lot of time prepping the floor. Do it twice if you have to. There are some areas that I'm afraid it's either going to be stained or might not even take. You can see some of those blotchy areas right around here and over there. Interestingly enough, they seem to be right underneath the door tracks. And I wonder if over the past 15 years, oil and grease dripped down and it was just embedded deeper than I thought. And be careful when you're cutting in. A few times I got a little paint up on the sidewall. I'm just going to have to retouch it, no big deal, but I'd rather not have to do that. And you got to work fast. This paint is so thin, it's very watery, and I didn't know how much to use. I wish I would have used a lot more than I did because I got almost a half a gallon left. Now, granted, this is supposed to do 2.5 garage. Mine is a small 2-car garage. So I expected some left over, but not almost a half gallon. So I don't think I put as much on as maybe I could have, thick enough coats. I can't come back and touch it up later because once it's activated, it's activated. It's gone. It's not going to be useful in a day or two. So that's it. I hope this helped. I hope that you have some success in doing your own floor. And remember, don't take it too seriously. It's just paint. If you have to do it again in 2 or 3 years, no big deal. We can learn from the first time. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner. And don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks for watching me, everyone. I'm Mark, and this is the Average Me Channel.